Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G. Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where I get to share with you some good music while talking to some great people. Hello world, hope you're feeling as good as I am. I want to big up all my homegrown listeners out there and welcome all the new listeners. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. We are also now available on Spotify. This is episode 13.
Dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, with a treetop glistening and children listening to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
And that is White Christmas by the legendary Mr. John Holt from the album Reggae Pulse, Volume 4, Christmas Songs. A lot of people don't realize how many of our legends have actually done Christmas songs. Christmas is a big thing in Jamaica. I'm an immigrant. I live in the U.S. I'm from Jamaica. And a lot of my memories are so wrapped up in the Christmas season, you know. Growing up as a little youth, I'm talking about primary school, pre-primary. Just growing up from church doing the Christmas plays to just time with my family, with my mom, you know what I mean, decorating, putting up the Christmas tree, Christmas lights, Christmas gifts, you know, Boxing Day, Christmas Eve night, parties out in the streets in Ocho Rios, you know, phenomenal times. This episode is called Christmas All Over the World, and it's inspired by the legendary Miss Faye Ellington. Broadcast legend, journalist extraordinaire, and just overall icon, living legend, someone I deem a national treasure. Now, she's still a young lady, but if you know JBC TV, if you grew up in Jamaica, you know the name Faye Ellington. Just legendary. Anyways, I reached out to her to let her know her video really inspired me to do this episode and to get her blessing to use the audio, which she so graciously obliged me to do. So thanks a million, Miss Ellington. I so appreciate it. Please go and check out Faye Ellington's YouTube channel. You can see some awesome videos, and just go check it out to be inspired. It's quite informative as well as entertaining. I'm going to put the info for her YouTube channel in the show notes. But all in all, a phenomenal legend in her own right, and just truly an inspiration. So for me, as well as I'm sure for so many others, I have so much of my youthful memories wrapped up in the Christmas holidays. You know, It was a special time. It was a special time from church and Christmas plays, Christmas pageants, at school and at home. I remember back in 1988, I had the Christmas play at school, primary school, and I was the lead character. And I remember the opening line like it was yesterday. Our scene was the opening scene, and started out with me running down the halls to my mom, or the person who played my mom, and saying, "Oh, Mom, I'm so excited. I can hardly wait for Christmas to come." But I was a little uncomfortable doing it because I was really close to my mom, and I wasn't comfortable calling somebody else mom. So, as we had these rehearsals and so forth, I think the second to last rehearsal my mom came to, and she knew something was wrong, and she called me and she asked me, "What's wrong?" I said, "I'm not comfortable," and I told her what it was. She was like, "Nah, go ahead, do your thing. You're acting," so forth and so forth, and she gave me her blessing, and we went ahead and did it, and it was just phenomenal. What sense does this make? I'm just telling you, my memories wrapped up Christmas. We'd gifts, man. Gifts, too. I used to go to my bed early. It was an inside joke with me and my mom. I'd go to my bed early on Christmas Eve when I was younger because I figured if I went to bed early, the night would go by real quick and the morning would come, it'd be Christmas, I'd be able to go get my gifts. I have a song on my album, Ocho Rios. That song's called Like a Bird, and that's the chorus, you know what I mean? I go to my bed early so that night goes by real fast and the morning comes. It was an inside thing with me and my mom because I wanted my Christmas gift early. She wouldn't let me open it early, so I went to bed early so that morning would come. So, the others didn't know why I did this, why I went to bed early on Christmas Eve. And of course, early is pretty relative. I'm talking about when I was younger, before being old enough to go out to the parties, the Christmas Eve parties in Oceans by myself. But, it's just like I said, memories, Christmas, all wrapped up. So we're going to talk to people, across the world, different countries in the Caribbean and as far and wide as we can capture, to see what life and Christmas was like for them growing up in their homeland. Miss Ellington so eloquently captured the essence of the true Jamaican Christmas. I don't think we could put it any more visual if we tried, And there's some things that even if you weren't, if it wasn't a part of your Christmas, it tugs on your memory strings because you heard your mom talk about it, you heard your grandma talk about it. Culture, tradition, folklore, you know what I mean? Just wonderful. There was this poem also that we'd always have to do in some form of performance for school. The name of the poem was Flameheart by Claude McKay, and I loved it. We knew it by the most popular line in the stanza. Poinsettia is red, blood red, in warm December. That was it. But it's called Flameheart. It stands out in my memory at Christmas time too. So in fact, I went and found it. And I'm going to do it for you all. So if you're familiar, I hope you enjoy. And if you're not familiar, I hope you enjoy. So much have I forgotten in 10 years. So much in 10 brief years I have forgot. What time the purple apples come to juice, and what month brings the shy forget-me-not. I have forgot the special startling season of the pimentos flowering and fruiting. What time of year the ground doves brown the fields and fill the noonday with their curious fluting. I have forgotten much, but still remember the poinsettia is red, blood red, in warm December. I still recall the honey fever grass, but cannot recollect the high days when we rooted them out of the penguin path to stop the mad bees in the rabbit pen. I often try to think in what sweet month the languid painted ladies used to dapple the yellow by-road mazing from the main, sweet with the golden threads of the rose apple. I have forgotten, strange, but quite remember, the poinsettia's red, blood red, in warm December. What weeks, what months, what time of the mild year we cheated school to have our fling at tops. What days our wine-thrilled bodies pulsed with joy, feasting upon blackberries in the copse. Oh, some I know, I have embalmed the days, even the sacred moments when we played all innocent of passion uncorrupt, at noon and evening in the flame heart shade. We were so happy, happy, I remember, beneath the poinsettias red in warm December. Flameheart by Claude McKay.
All right, it's Christmas. Ain't it feel good? Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoes help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard sleeping tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeers really know how to fly. And so I'm offering the simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
The legendary Mr. Beres Hammond, and that is the Christmas song, also from Reggae Pulse, Christmas songs. I'm telling you, like I said, a lot of our legends have done, their Christmas interpretations, their spin on popular Christmas songs. But nonetheless, listen, primarily doing this is our time capsule, our digital time capsule, if you will. And, for our kids who have not necessarily experienced Christmas growing up in the islands or in Jamaica. Sometimes they may go back there every now and then for, a Christmas there but it's not the same. It's the heritage, the culture, the folklore, the whole nine, a lot of things that we used to see then that they don't see now. We just want to have some people who have those vivid memories and are, not too shy to share with us their experiences growing up and enjoying Christmas in different parts of the world. So I'm very, very excited. So you know what? Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing started. And we'll start with Christmas in Venezuela.
All right, Christmas in Venezuela. Christmas in Venezuela is one of the most colorful ones in Latin America. People buy their own fireworks and, they at night they light up the sky and they have fun with it. And, it starts from early on, like around December 16. Most companies stop working or work very little, and, it's like 2.5 weeks of ongoing partying. What we have there traditionally is called folk music, which is called gaita. It started on one of the states in the inner states on the country and became very popular, and a lot of people play gaitas during the Christmas season, which is mainly, the instrument is a guitar with 4 strings, which is called cuatro. It's similar to a ukulele. And you have the tambora, which is like a drum, and a furo, which is also a drum with a stick on it that makes a whoosing sound on it. So it makes different sounds. So it's traditional in our country to listen to gaitas. And of course, you'll listen to aguinaldos or parandas, which are Christmas songs and Christmas carols that are traditional in our country. Most some homes have Christmas trees, but most of the homes really have an nativity or the nativity scenes, which are called nacimientos, where you have the baby Jesus, and some people go all out. They really decorate their house, and they put like a whole city, and you see the nativity in the corner, and it's very cool. They light it up, and so people get ready for that. And there's also the midnight mass, which is right before the 24th of December. They have a midnight mass where most people go to it and listen to and go to church and listen to the sermon about the baby Jesus and the traditional of being born and the reason for Christmas. Of course, on December the 24th, the families get together and they eat and all that. And the following day is when you really open the presents and kids get excited and what have you. During the weeks of Christmas, they also have skates outs. People get in skates, and they have a lot of the youth go in the streets and they skate around the street, and a lot of people listen to music and they skate around, and that's something we used to do back in the day, and I don't know how it is now, but we have fun with friends and go skating, and have that tradition going, and meet people. It's sort of like a get together, but you skate and you have fun. The traditional food that we have during this period is called hallacas. Hallacas is a mixture of beef, pork, and chicken. They put capers and raisins and olives into this mix, and they put it on corn dough, and they wrap it with banana leaves, plantain leaves, and they cook it, they boil it. So that's very traditional for us during the Christmas season. Also, they have what is called a pan de jamón, which is ham bread that you roll it and you put bacon on it, and you put raisins and olives, and that's also another tradition that people eat during those days. Basically, a lot of people party, a lot of drinking. People don't really work much. Typical Latin American country, and you really celebrate and go to a lot of parties, get together with families. The day after, it's just hangover. Everything is at ease, the kids wake up and look, get their presents and all that, and it really kids believe that Jesus left them the present, not Saint Nick, because in our country, people know about Santa Claus, but not really, the reason why Christmas is all about. It's really that baby Jesus is leaving the kids presents, for them. Not, that's the main thinking down there. So, for Christmas, people get ready to go party. For New Year's, people get ready to go party, and different parties and different get-togethers and all that. A lot of people try to wear new clothes, and also there's a tradition that if you wear something yellow, it will give you good luck for the following year. So basically that's how we have our Christmas season. It ends on the Day of the Three Kings, which is around January. That some families give presents to the kids again, like the Three Kings gave presents to baby Jesus when they went to visit him. But that's when the last day of the season ends, and of course you gotta go back to reality after that. So that's how it goes.
Thank you. Wow, that was awesome. And that was Christmas in Venezuela. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It's Homegrown.
Someday at Christmas there won't be
Yes, man, and that is Kashif Lindo, Someday at Christmas, from the album Reggae Christmas. I just want to stop a moment and thank everybody that's been supporting the podcast Homegrown with G Code from inception until now, and everybody that's sending in their thoughts, their memories, their vivid recollection of Christmas growing up. You have no idea how much it moves me, and not just me, but the team and everybody listening and so forth. So I just want to extend that thank you. And now let's hear about Christmas in Barbados.
Christmas in Barbados, as a girl growing up, I remember very well when I was growing up around the holiday times. It was always a wonderful time. We were glad when we have families coming from overseas, from London, from Canada, from the United States. We look forward to that. And I remember we would get the yard already cleaned up, weed, swept, brush. The floors were all scrubbed. We varnished the floors. I love the smell of the linoleum and the plastic in the house with the new things, the new scents. The stew dumplings for November, that was the last part of the 30th of November. We had the sorrels, we look forward to, we get that around Christmas time. The green peas, which most people call gunga peas, but we call them green peas. And the nice homemade sweet bread, the nice eggs from the chickens laid in the yard, and to make the pudding so bright and yellow, so nice. And then we had look forward to, they had some people would come around caroling, singing the songs, and they'll knock on people's doors and sing these songs and these rhymes, make rhymes and stuff. And we would have the table set up. We offer them some falernum, some wine, some of our baked goodies, the ham, the pork. It was such a wonderful time growing up. I wish that I could see some of those times again. People come around and they say, they have a cow they're gonna kill or a pig, and you put in your order, you get your fresh meat. And we would season that up real good, and we bake that in the ham. It was rice and peas a lot. Wow. And some people like soup. They make soup from the sheep head or whatever. Just as like a delicacy, not really the main course, a little soup. Right. But some people love soup and tea. Right. But it was mainly rice and peas, mac and cheese, nice salad, fruits, grapes. We had a lot of oranges, a lot of grapefruits, mangoes, yeah, pineapples. There were a lot of fruits we had. Bananas. We had, a china cabinet or a buffet, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that thing would sit there with all of these dishes and these glasses in it from year to year. The only time those things would get washed is Christmas time. We had the table all prepared, and we spread the towels on the table, and those things hand wash every one of those dishes and those glasses, spoons and forks and everything at that time of the year, and put them back inside there. Only if a stranger comes to the house that we get to use those things. And I've heard so many people talk about that. The old people that always have something put down for sick times and for, when people come to the house. That's when they take out the best of everything.
Right. Trust me, I get really.
But that's what I remember very well. As I said, the caroling, people get together. There was maybe 6, 8, 10 guys, and they would start it out from early, just as the sun go down, it start to get dark. They would start from district to district. They go around and they sing "Drink Your Rum" and "A Christmas Morning, Drink Your Rum," and all kind of little rhymes and stuff. And they will knock on the door, "Hey, miss something, what have you got there? It's Christmas." And you open up your door and you give them some of whatever you have. Wow. It was not merely, those who would get some of the hot food, like that time of the day. Somebody that maybe didn't have a family or they have somebody to cook, that would you give them a share of food. But mainly it was some of the goodies that you have, the ham, the sweet breads, the pudding, the pones, the drink that you make, the sorrel, the rum punch, all of those different drinks that you would make. You give them and they'll thank you, and they go on to the next door and they're going to sing from district to district. Wow. And I love when, we like to set up the house late, the Christmas Eve. and you go to sleep. Then when you wake up in the morning, you can smell these smells of everything. The furniture, we get the new cushions, we get the material. I had a sister that sewed. We buy the material, get new cushions for the chairs. All of us had these big old mahogany furniture in the house. The cushions made. We had linoleum. Some people put a little linoleum on the floor, and we varnished. We had to varnish our floors. We scrub them and have them nice and clean. We varnish them, make them nice and pretty to match the furniture. Some people, they get a bed. I remember at that time, everybody didn't have a nice mattress. We had a bed that buy the material, you get it sewed, and you cut the grass, you dry it, and you stuff the bed. You have a nice fresh stuffed bed.
Right.
Those times were wonderful. And I always tell my kids, I am so happy for the time that I was born in. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Wow. Very, very nice. And you knew everybody in the district, the kids when they came back from overseas and they brought all of these nice things. Right. And toys. Everybody was so happy with the toys to share, they share with the neighbor, they play with the nice toys that you had.
Yeah.
A big doll. My cousin, I remember her dad used to work on the contract here. He bring back this big old tall doll for her. Hold my left hand up and I will walk with you. It was probably like this tall.
It was a big...
Yeah, a big tall doll.
Like a child.
Yeah. I remember that very well.
Wow.
And you're happy for whatever your family brings for you. Some of the little things that they bring from overseas. We hated to know when, you see January, like the second week in January or so, when people start to go back to their homes. That was a sad time. I used to feel the emptiness. I felt the emptiness at that time.
Wow. But come October, November.
Oh, you're you can't wait. We all get that kind of feeling. And, as you said, the energy. You feel it. Very, very, very nice. I come from the East Coast, St. Andrew. So we're on the eastern part of the country.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The rough part of the ocean, I guess that's the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
Because the others is more or less the Caribbean waters, and they're like mile and much. They look like you can walk all the way to the horizon. That's how they look. And no matter what point of Barbados you drive from point A to point B, you can see water. You can hear shh. As you come ashore. And the bus stop, the bus station. Right. You sit down, you're looking out on the harbor. Wow. And when the bus pulls out from there, on our way home, then we pass by the harbor, the big ships and the harbor. And especially at night, they're all lit up. If we could just go back a moment in time and have some of those times, most everybody plant the trees that they can get their peas for Christmas.
Wow.
My mom always did. She always had peace. She always had sorrow. Always, always. I didn't realize my grandmother was so up in age because she was such a strong woman. She lived to be 106 years old. Wow. And that woman had to be well in her 80s. And she would still tumble into town with a basket. Take her corn, get the corn grind and everything, take it to town and get some of the people bake, for the baker where she used to go and get this bread baked and come home. She loved them to bake her puddings, with the one with the eggs, the fresh eggs from home. But to put the orange peel, help put the orange peel in there when they do the eggs, so it won't be raw. And she would bring home her goodies in her basket. You know what she had? One of these hooks, like where the butcher used to have the meat hooked up. She had one hook for one of the rafters in the house, and that's where she hung her basket with. Nice beef stew, especially beef a lot for the Christmas. The pork, the chicken, and all that ham. But especially a nice pork shoulder. Everybody want a pork shoulder to roast. And they'll bake that thing in there. You can smell and you pass by. And the fruit cake we had to, from October, we had those fruit set from October. So you can get that good. And my sister, that one that sold, she could bake some really, really good cakes. That was Christmas in Barbados as a girl growing up.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your Christmas memories with us. We appreciate it. That was Christmas in Barbados. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It's Homegrown.
It's that time of year.
And that one is Fiona, Give Love on Christmas Day. And the album is VP Records Presents The Christmas Album. We're going through and we're talking to different people. And, Christmas means a lot to a lot of different people. Some of us look forward to a whole lot of things. That Christmas Eve church service that will carry us over into Christmas Day. Ringing it in with our families at home, right beneath the Christmas tree. Some people staying up till midnight because truthfully it is Christmas. You can unwrap the gifts at that point in time, right? Or just, certain things, eggnog, you know what I mean? Them kind of thing that is traditional for Christmas. But some people just want their gifts, you come across different people with different memories, and it's all innocent, it's all pure. It's just that, people's recollection when they were children, it's a little different. Some people are just straight up, give my gifts, man. We met some interesting people as we walked through the streets of London.
My greatest memory of Christmas, I have two great memories. I suppose they're kind of linked. It was the whole leading up to Christmas Day. So my brother and I would go to sleep and we'd leave out we had a special plate that had Dear Santa on it and a cup. So we'd leave out biscuits and milk. And we would probably go to bed about 9 o'clock, but we would be up by 2 o'clock. So my parents were scrummaging in the loft to get out all our gifts in time before we would wake up. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, we had heavens, what are they called? The chimes hanging on our window, and we would ring them. Whoever got to it first would ring it to wake the other one up. And then we'd run out to all our gifts. We'd open them all up, and we'd be playing until 6 o'clock probably, maybe have a little doze, most likely not, and then we'd head over to my maternal grandparents where all my aunties and uncles would be for another round of gift opening. And then Boxing Day was always spent at my paternal grandparents and with all my family there. So I suppose the thing I liked most about Christmas was being with family, but ultimately it was always the excitement of getting lots of gifts and waking up at the early hours with my brother and just ringing that chime and knowing it was the most exciting time. And also I loved the smell of plastic. I loved the smell of the new toys, and just the thought of my parents sitting there like gluey-eyed, barely able to stay awake. And even actually Christmas Eve I enjoyed because we'd spend it at my best friend's house, and then her and my brother were also best friends, and then her mum and my mum were best friends, and both our dads got on very well, and we would always spend Christmas Eve there and then walk home as a family.
See what I mean? Different perspectives, but you know what? It's all about Christmas. All right? Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It's Homegrown.
All the Christmas has been there, Mario.
The only way I have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year is when the rich man them pocket gets here. I swear, a rich man me want me Christmas. Tell him about pocket man them share for. Send me money come a Western Union. Be marry big house and fancy cars. Me and war and me lawyers and doctors, politician and all the money man. Tell him we invest the money for me property. With this a bank where you can go wrong. Me and your mud man
And that one is Later Saw, Rich Man for Christmas. VP presents the Christmas album. You know, the amazing thing when it comes to this Christmas thing pretty much and the world as a whole is that, you know, every country is unique and they have their idiosyncrasies when it comes to people, culture, tradition. But when you listen to everyone and you dissect it all, it's almost all the same. It stems from the same principles. And, you know, of course, it's you know, Christmas, it's the birth of Christ. But I'm talking about tradition and culture and stuff like that. Some of it's downright hilarious. Like Christmas in Poland, you know, according to Wanda. Let's go ahead and check out Christmas in Poland.
Raised in Poland, so our Christmas was not about presents. Our Christmases were about families getting together. We did have a Christmas tree. We decorated it, but everything was handmade. Okay, I mean, we would put walnuts, we would put popcorn, we would make bows, we would make flowers. That was the fun part because you were taking part in doing it. Did a lot of caroling, okay. We would go from houses to houses on certain days because there are many days for caroling. And we would actually get money for it because when people would like our caroling, they would pay us, right. Okay? And so that was the fun part. On Christmas Eve, which is more important to us than Christmas Day, we don't eat all day, and our meal consists of 12 dishes. And it's all peasant food, we call it, which means no meat. Okay, we eat peasant food. We eat like pierogi, which is something like ravioli, which is stuffed with potatoes and cheese, a lot of olive oil, a lot of garlic, and a lot of onion is used because we don't do meat. Then we have stuffed cabbage with similar thing. And we have two kinds of the pierogi, which is with cheese, and then we have mushrooms and sauerkraut or cabbage. We make 3 different kinds of soups. We have mushroom soups, we have beet soup, which again, we serve like little noodles with mushrooms. And we have peas and cabbage because peas is peace, and cabbage brings luck or whatever, you know.
Right.
And so we have that. Then we have to have fish, and traditional fish is carp, which I don't like. So we do flounder in our home. And we certain cakes we have to have, like cheesecake, and we have to have poppy seed cake. Okay. That's our tradition. But most importantly, our table is set with hay, like in the manger.
Oh, wow.
And because we don't eat all day, before we start eating, the eldest member of the family, we take the wafer, the communion wafer, like, we have big pieces, and we put honey and garlic on it. Honey represents, may you have sweetness in life, and garlic, may you overcome the bitterness in life.
Right.
So the eldest member says a prayer, and then each one gets a wafer, and you break and you make a wish for each person. We always set our table 1 extra, unexpected guests, and that's how we celebrate. And we do that, and I do that at home. We do that. Yeah, we do that.
Wow.
You know, except my Christmas tree. My Christmas tree, I buy things. But our meals, we make our. Oh, you have to go midnight mass. You have to go midnight mass. That's Christmas Eve, okay, and then 6 o'clock in the morning for the mass. I mean, that's midnight mass is tremendous. But we're not supposed to eat all day. And then Christmas Day, that's when families come and visit. And we have leftovers. We don't really cook because you have so much food, between the soups and but we have to have 12 dishes, apostles. And we have, the fish and everything, and they they can't wait to come because then we eat the peasant food. We don't eat, the steaks or whatever. We eat simple food, but can't wait, And we start cooking like 2 days before, so we have it all. Wow. Especially the soups. It's very much family oriented. It's very much, and my husband calls it the onion and garlic holiday. And it's like, honey, it's only once a year. Everybody dresses up and they walk down the street and they sing carols. It's the same thing, Yep. And there's so many different things. But it's nice. It's nice to have, it's St. Nick. It's not Santa Claus. Okay, but you have to be a good person. Okay, you have to know your prayers.
Naughty or nice.
That's right. And when we used to have St. Nick, when I was growing up, he always came with the devil. Okay, because scare that out of you. Yeah, that'd be good. Better know your prayer. And then you grow up and you go, really? We had to go and look for the star where St. Nick was at that time, Look at the stars so they can bring the presents in, right? But I was always scared because that devil came with St. Nick. St. Nick, like, were you a good person? And the devil's with the king. Okay. And then you were really good for the next couple of days.
Oh, Lord. So they know how to keep you in line.
Yeah. Not only the bell, but St. Nick and devil.
God. Oh, Lord, thank you so much.
But that was a long time ago, I don't think that devil comes with them.
Probably not legal anymore.
Probably. Or get child abuse.
That's what you get when you roll up on people asking them about their Christmas. Thank you so much, Wanda. That was Christmas in Poland. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It's Homegrown.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Santa catch up in a mango tree, mango tree, mango tree. Santa catch up in a mango tree, but to ball out. What a Christmas treat! Then Santa say, come help me down, help me down to the ground. Santa say, come help me down, come do your Christmas deed. Peeny Wally go be guide him with his shining light, nice and bright. Winky say he will help him out, and Santa had no doubt. Lucky one donkey underneath the tree, the hamper fall upon the poor Jenny. The donkey start the holla and ball. Santa said, "Chut, Jenny, don't worry at all. Dilly, dally, dilly, dally." The donkey start the dally down the road. Dilly, dally, dally down the road. The donkey start the dally down the road. Santa said, we happy deliver this load, and then him throw the toys this way, the toys that way, toys the other way. Him give and
And that one is Santa Ketchup in a Mango Tree, Faith D. Aguilar. And that one's from the album Sweet Reggae Christmas. It's amazing. It's just utterly amazing that as different as people are and as far and wide as we're from, we're so the same. Christmas brings people together. What other time of year can you walk around and walk up to people and ask them to take 5 minutes of their time to talk to you about their childhood growing up? Not every day. Not at least without getting tased or maced or something like that, But it gets more and more interesting. Now we're gonna talk to somebody about Christmas in Bulgaria. Let's hear what that's like.
Hi, my name is Cristiana and I'm originally from Bulgaria, which is in Eastern Europe. What I remember most about Christmas in Bulgaria is that we used to celebrate together with as much family as possible. Christmas Eve is our bigger celebration than Christmas Day itself. And on Christmas Eve, the tradition was to have a lean meal, so no animal products whatsoever, and you have to have an odd number of dishes on the table. Typically that number was 7. My mom used to make this bread on Christmas Eve with little charms inside of it, which consisted of 3 buds, and each number of buds symbolizes a different thing. For example, 1 is for health, 2 is for love, 3 is for success, and so forth. There was also a metal coin inside of the bread, and whoever got the coin was supposed to have success with money for the next year. I remember we always had a real tree, it was never a fake one, and as a matter of fact, my parents used to buy a Christmas tree with the roots in a pot, and then after Christmas they would replant it in their villa house. One funny thing is that now I associate the smell of oranges with Christmas because that was the only time of the year we could get them in Bulgaria. Christmas itself was a lot more about coming together to share a meal and laughter and a lot of drinks in typical Eastern European style, and it was a lot less about the gifts themselves. There is still a gift exchange, but it's just far more modest than here in the United States. And all in all, Christmas in Bulgaria is primarily about family, food, fun, and that is my wish to you.
Thank you so much, and same to you and yours. And that was Christmas in Bulgaria. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It's Homegrown.
All is calm.
And this is Miss Carlene Davis with Silent Night from the album Christmas Reggae Rock. Just having a blast, just going through and listening to these reggae Christmas songs, the reggae version of these traditional Christmas songs, as well as, an original here or there, you know what I mean? Lady Saw, big up yourself. But it's just a blast, just an overall blast. I'm going to go ahead now and get into the legendary Miss Faye Ellington OD. Most people are waiting for Faye's take on it, and she did such a tremendous job on it. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you right about now. And this right here will paint that visual picture for you. If you're from Jamaica, been in Jamaica, at Christmas time back in the day, this is going to be so good for you. And if you haven't or you weren't, this is going to be so good for you. Miss Faye Ellington with Christmas in Jamaica.
So I sit on here watching the news and I see snow in Atlanta. And I'm saying, thank you, Jesus. I'm having, there's some rain. But usually it's a bright Christmas we have here, not a white Christmas. It looked pretty, but I don't think we would want to have to be in it, you know what I mean? So, and then my mind started to wander. And I wonder about Christmas when I was a little girl. Oh, yes, man. In the hills of Clarendon at Smithville. Oh, tangerine, come in, man. Yes, when fruits are in season, we say then come in. And I love that about Christmas, the tangerine and the gungo. You see the gungo blossom come up October, November, and you have gungo, green gungo. I love that with your rice and peas. Yes, red peas too. And them have a peas named Christmas peas, a little red peas, Christmas peas. When you make your rice and peas with that, oh, it's red and pretty and beautiful. But in addition to that, all the preparations that we used to do, see, we had to take down everything out of the cabinet, if you had cabinet or the cupboards or whatever, and wash them. Every plate, every tumbler, every glass, everything had to take down and wash and put back. All the lamp shades, you had to wash the home sweet home lampshade them and clean up the lamp extra special and trim the wicks. That is how we used to prepare, you understand? And then of course, you'd have been fattening up one of the fowl them. The free range fowl them call it now. Common fowl, yard fowl, leg on, pull it, and you fix that, you fatten that up for Christmas. So that is what you're going to have with the beef that you'd buy as well if you're going to have beef. And for the pork eaters, them would have them pork and all of that. But the preparation also meant going outside and tidying up the yard. Yeah, you sweep and you bush and you cut back and you trim and you prune, all of that. And then you get your whitewash. And you whitewash the stone them that along the walkway going to your yard. And you whitewash the tree trunks. And you whitewash the outside of your gate. And that whitewash is, what it is, white lime really, And that is how you bring a little extra special to your surroundings and how those look. And it was not uncommon for the Christmas cards from the year gone by to be still hanging in the hall. Yes, we had a hall, not a drawing room or a sitting room or a den. We had a hall, and we have the cards hung up on a piece of string, one from the corner to the corner. And all of the cards them come from America, and come from England, and come from Canada, and come from Jamaica. My grandmother and my mother put them over the piece of string in the hall, and we would look at them from time to time. That was another way that we observed Christmas. And then the fifi and the shiboom that you would get at Grand Market. And every square, every community had a square or a crossroads and Grand Market. And then you had a bigger Grand Market down at Frankfield, 7 miles from Smithville, and a bigger one still down at Maypen. And that is when the children and them parents and them grandparents and them brother and them sister, them gone to Grand Market, and they come back till all near midnight, And then, you put away your things. And, one of the things then that used to happen on Christmas morning, when you go to church, you have to get up early and get ready. And you have to walk to church. And you cowl up in the hill of Clarendon there, And you have on your shoes from the year before as a child. So it's tight. And you walk and the shoes are bun. You see mini and starlight. But rest assured, one of the presents you was going to get when you go back home after church was a new pair of shoes. And they stuffed the toe with newspaper. newspaper. So that as your foot grow, then take out some of the newspaper so your foot set into it. So, we couldn't afford to buy a new pair of shoes every 6 months. That wasn't cutting it at all. Not at all. And the junk, for those people who have junk, the junk, band would come through with the various character and the fife and the grater and the drum. You had Pitchy Patchy, you had Belly Woman. And by the way, all of the junk characters, most of them were men dressed up. So you had Belly Woman, and the Belly Woman, the pregnant one, was a man dressed up. You had Devil, you had Cowhead, you had Houseboat, you had Jack in the Green, you have, let me tell you, Pitchy Patchy already, junk, but they move it and they pick, they're afraid of it, you see, but they want to hear the excitement, And when they go, and they pick them, and they hang on upon their mother's skirt and they hide between their legs because the devil go after them, so and them scream and thing. That was part of what made it such great fun, man. The junk, Aye, Christmas. And then we have to sing. We have Christmas carol. When you go to church, you sing all the Christmas carols, but then there's Christmas songs, and they are Jamaica Christmas songs. Christmas a come me wa me lama, Christmas a come me wa me lama, Christmas a come me wa me lama, Christmas a come me wa me lama. Not a hat to me head me wa me lama, not a shot to me back me wa me lama, not a boot to me foot me wa me lama. Christmas a come me wa me degede, and you go on and you go on. But the preparation, we used to have to get the coconut brush. Me still keep one. And the wax. That after you go a bush and you chip the bark off of the tree and you boil that for dye and you tip like a straw dye in it and you take your coconut brush mark at the house of it clean, board floor, And when you're clean, you knock a little rhythm. Morning, Mr. Potter, morning to you, sir. I come to lodge, I complain to you now, sir. We plant a piece of red, sir. The land, Mary Jane and Pigeon, come eat it out, sir. Come out of me yard, me never call you, yeah. Come out of me yard, me never call you, yeah. For the house rent money, no done pay for. We had to clean the floor. You could have seen your face night when we done. I remember the rice and peas when I tell you about. If you never had a dry coconut to put in the then I go work. So all of them powdered coconut, which means I use a powdered coconut, but way back then, you have to have your dry coconut to put in them, and you broke your coconut and you grate your coconut, so you grate a piece of your fingertip too. And then you have to have, as you sit down and you prepare, you have your mug a little, your enamel mug, man, that crucial, critical, and you get Milo and cocoa, and the whole of one them get coffee and tea and so on. But right now, we have a fancy Christmas mug. It have the till the pan set upon it. But Merry Christmas. If you oversee, Merry Christmas. If you're there in Jamaica, Merry Christmas. And remember the real reason for the season. Wow, good.
Wow. The lovely, the incomparable, the legendary Miss Faye Ellington O.D. Christmas in Jamaica. It doesn't get any better than that. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It's Homegrown.
We wish you a Irie Christmas. Oh, year and New Year's are just the same. Christmas on a broke pocket day. We wish you a Irie Christmas. We wish you a Irie Christmas. We wish you a Irie Christmas and a dance all New Year. Great tidings, Natty Jane bring you. Great tidings, Natty Jane bring you. Great tidings, Natty Jane bring you. And a dance all New Year. We skank and rock it to the rhythm. We rock and we rock the rhythm. We scrub and we rub and we dub wise. And a happy dance. We bring you a Irie Christmas. We bring you a Irie Christmas. We bring you a Irie Christmas and a dance all New Year. You love up, you rub up on a Christmas. You rub up, you scrub up on a Christmas. You rub up and you dub up on a Christmas and a dance all New Year. We wish you Merry, 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 Merry Christmas on a broke pocket day. Not even 1 cent to buy a little toy. We dance and rock it to the ice mouse. We rub it and scrub it to the ice mouse. We rub it and dub it to the Christmas on a broke pocket this year. Everybody gonna jump and a shout. shouting. Everybody gonna jump in and a shouting. And Ben Johnson dear, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yes, and that's the one and only Mr. Jacob Miller with the song We Wish You an Merry Christmas from the album Natty Christmas. I want to once more take the time to say thanks to everyone that took a moment to share their Christmas memories with us. It means an awful lot. Please go and check out Faye Ellington's YouTube channel. You're going to love it, I promise. This has been a great year in many ways and a trying one in others. Bones, this is going to be my first Christmas without you. But I have the memories, my brother, and like Moses said, they don't leave like people do. The podcast Homegrown with G. Cole was launched on September 27th of this year, so we're a little shy of 3 months running, but so far we've been downloaded thousands of times and are currently being downloaded in 32 countries worldwide. I am happy, I am proud, I'm exhausted, but I couldn't ask for much more. We're also now available on Spotify, so if you're a Spotify subscriber, definitely go there. I'd also like to take a moment to thank all my guests and of course all my supporters. And for 2018, we vow to bring you much more great content. Let's end the year on a good note. No crime, no time, please. And though the gifts are great, please remember the reason for the season. Let those you love know you love them, because you never know. You just never know. Once more, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
Breadfruit roasting on the open fire, caramel porridge on the stove. Invite your children to my home. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Dedicate this one to all the Jamaicans, home and abroad. Lord of mercy, Lord of mercy. Me love me ackee and me saltfish. In a Jamaica are the national dish. Me love fin yam up the cocoa. Give me banana and the chocho. The youth them a eat them bun and cheese. Give me the chicken and the rice and peas. Sorrel, Irish mash and sour sop. Jamaica food it good for your back. Yellow's on his way. Food on his plate. Children stop crying when yellow man pass by. Breadfruit roasting on the open fire, caramel porridge on the stove. Invite your children to my home. Merry Christmas to you. Give me fried fish and me bami. Make we go a Ochi and stop and drink jelly. Go a corner shop and buy 2 fried dumpling. After we done, we all go pick pumpkin. Red pea soup make me heart keep beating. Mackerel and rundown, finger licking. Thinking to people that are something. Sky juice me drink when me thirsty. The cane man, he never get empty. The peanut man, him always have plenty. Roasted, ital, and salty.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has indeed been a pleasure. Remember, be safe, be kind, and be good to each other. My name is G. Cole, and this is Homegrown.
Nakikinika sa música, Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.
Remember, all the music played here on Homegrown with G. Cole is available on iTunes and all your digital retailers. We're also now available on Spotify. Please support the artists.